not only are the solutions that Marxism offers error-ridden, to say the least, given the historical evidence. And I just don't see how anybody can deny that, although people certainly do. But that the problem that the Marxists originally identified seems actually to be vanishing. I mean, as you already pointed out, there's been an unparalleled increase in material prosperity among, not only among the rich, which you could complain about if you were concerned about inequality, but among the poorest people in the world. Like, we halved absolute material privation based on UN standards by 50% between the year 2000 and 2012. And the cynics say that's because we set the standard for material privation too low, which is $1.90 a day. But if you look at the curves that you can generate at levels of $3.80 a day or $7.60 a day, you see exactly the same thing happening. And you see rapid increases in economic growth in sub-Saharan Africa, like, 7% growth rates, which are more typically characteristic, say, of China or India. And that's manifested in unbelievably positive statistical evidence, such as that suggesting that now the child mortality rate in Africa is the same as it was in Europe in 1952. And so the Marxists' original complaint was that, the rich were going to get richer and the poor were going to get poorer, and that could be laid at the feet of capitalism, just like the fact of hierarchy itself could be laid at the feet of capitalism. And it's clear that capitalism, although it does produce hierarchical inequality, just like every other system that we know of, it also produces wealth, and that wealth is actually being very effectively distributed to the people, perhaps not primarily to the people who most need it, but to the people who most need it in ways that are truly mattering. And so, to me, the entire structure of Marxism is anachronistic. The problem is no longer appropriately formulated, and the solution tends to be deadly, if counterproductive, if not deadly. So it's maybe here's something I've been thinking about too. You can tell me what you think about this. Some of it still has to do with the innate human emotional response to inequality. When you walk down the street and you see a ruined alcoholic schizophrenic who's obviously suffering in 50 different dimensions, it's very difficult to feel positive about the state of humanity in the world. And it's very easy for a reflexive compassion to take over and say, well, wouldn't it be something if we could just retool society so that none of that was necessary? It must be someone's fault. It must be something that we're not doing right. And, there's some truth in that, because, of course, our systems could be better than they are. And it seems to me to be that unreflexive compassion that drives whatever residual attractiveness that Marxism still has, apart also from the darker possibility, which is that it really does appeal to the jealousy that's characteristic of people, and the envy, and which manifests itself as hatred for hierarchy on the basis that some people are doing better than me.